بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه أجمعين. We have reached the chapter of the mansub nouns, and we have already went over the chapter of the unrestricted object and the chapter of the maf'ul bihi, which we called simply the object. And now we have reached the chapter of al-zaman and al-makan. And in short, we can translate them as the time of action and the place of action. So let me share my screen real quick so you can see what I am looking at. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, Sheikh, I can see.
Okay. So the author says, rahimahullah, ظرف الزمان هو اسم الزمان المنصوب بتقدير في نحو اليوم والليلة وغدوة وبكرة وسحرا وغدا وعتمة وصباحا ومساء وأبدا وأمدا وحينا وما أشبه ذلك. وظرف المكان هو اسم المكان المنصوب بتقدير في نحو أمام وخلف وقدام ووراء وفوق وتحت وعند ومع وإزاء وحذاء وتلقاء وثم وهنا وما أشبه ذلك. He says, time of action. The time of action is the mansub noun The time of action is the mansub noun is a mansub noun of time with an implicit fee in. With an implicit fee. And fee, basically, if you guys remember when we were talking about the chapter, when we were going over the signs of nouns, we said one of the signs of nouns were the particles of khafd, and fee was one of the particles of khafd. So the time of action usually has an implicit in, even if it's not mentioned. For example, even in English, you say, I will go to work today. Today is basically the time of action, right? But you don't say I will go to work in today, right? Just sounds weird. But eventually, ultimately, what you're saying is that you going to work will happen in the time frame of today. You know what I mean? So the same case with Arabic, and there are certain exceptions which we will talk about, but for the most part that is the case. And some examples are نحو اليوم, such as today, والليلة, tonight, غدوة, tomorrow, وبكرة, morning, وسحرا, again that's a specific time. So bukra, وسحرا, وغدوة, these are all referring to basically from the time of the Fajr prayer all the way until like before the sun gets really high. So because in Arabic you have precise words. Each word is designated for a specific time. Even though they're all morning, but they all are designated for a specific time and morning. وغدا, which is tomorrow, and atamatan, which is nighttime. وصباحا, again, that also means morning. ومساء means evening. وأبدا وأمدا, always. وحينا, and حين, you could translate it as occasionally. وما أشبه ذلك, and that which resembles what you mentioned. And again, I will go ahead and write perhaps more closer translations for these, so stay tuned for that in the document, inshallah. So, and then we get to the, first of all, before I go any further, do you have any questions? And I'll give you some examples as well, inshallah. Yeah, go ahead.
Brother, how do you say tonight and night in Arabic? Like Lail is night?
Al-Layla. Al-Layla is tonight, yeah. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. And night, just night is Lail or?
Yeah, so Al-Layla would you, Al-Yawm is today, Al-Layla would be tonight, Layl would be night, but also Atama, that's the time of dinner. So I guess maybe I should change that to dinner time. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I said. I think I'm gonna go over these and come up with maybe more accurate translations, inshallah.
It seems like it's very special. It seems they're very specific about the time, dinner time. You know,
yeah.
which part of the day. MashaAllah, never thought of it that way.
Yeah, that's so. Again, with ظرف المكان, that would be, instead of the time of action, that would be the place of action. The place of action, ظرف الزمان, is the mansub noun of place, meaning it's a mansub noun which indicates place with an implicit fee. This also has an implicit fee in it. نحو أمامه, such as in front. وخلفه, behind. وقدامه, again, that also means front. So this, it becomes very hard to translate because in English, sometimes we don't have, precise words like that, or if you do, they've been lost and people don't use them anymore. Right. So it's some examples for the place of action are front, behind. Again, I would translate this ahead. So front, behind, ahead. Again, this would be behind. Fawqa is over. Tahta is under. Inda is next to. Wa ma'a, I'm missing one here. Wa ma'a means with. Wa iza means parallel to. Wa tilqa means next next to. وثم means there, and هنا means here. وما أشبه ذلك, and anything that resembles that which was mentioned. Okay, any questions? Or I think this is very straightforward, but we will mention some examples, inshallah, to make it even more clear. Questions will go into the examples, inshallah. Let me duplicate slide. So the author, rahimahullah, mentions only just examples for words, but he does not mention any examples in a sentence, for example. We'll try to give examples and how you would use them in a sentence. أمثلة. Okay. أكرم زيدا اليوم. I will be generous to Zaid tonight. And that's one example. That's an example for which one? For the time of action or the place of action?
Time of action.
Time of action, correct. This is an example for the time of action. And let me make this bigger. It's very small. Okay, and what's the i'rab of this time of action?
Nasab, right?
Nasab. Yeah, how do you know it's not? What's the sign of nasab here?
Oops. Is it? Is it the meme you just highlighted? Probably not.
So that's the letter. What's the sign of nasab? Remember we talked about the signs of different Arabs. We talked about the signs of nasab. We talked about the signs of rafa. We talked about the signs of khafd. We said the singular noun, the sign of nasab in a singular noun is what? For a singular noun, the sign of nasab was fatha, remember? Is it coming back slowly?
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah, so the sign of nasab for singular noun is fatha. Inshallah, next week we'll do a review instead of covering new material. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So the sign of nasab for a singular noun is fatha, and we said that these nouns fall under the mansub nouns, right? These nouns fall under the mansub nouns. Another example would be let me just write it here. أذهب إلى المدرسة غدا. Tomorrow, or I will go to school tomorrow. Again, here غدا is mansub, and it is the time of action. It is the time of action. Time of action. So these are examples for time, the mansub noun for time. Now we'll give some examples for place. جلست أمامك. Or
Brother, can I ask a question before you move forward, please?
نعم, go ahead.
Didn't you say there is an implicit fee in the sentences?
Yeah, implicit, not explicit.
Oh, okay. So it will mean, so we won't be able to see it, but it'll mean it. Something like that.
Yeah, it will mean it. Just think about when I say أذهب إلى المدرسة غدا. I will go to school tomorrow. So that you're essentially saying I will go to school in the duration of time that expands tomorrow, right? That encompasses tomorrow. In the duration of time that encompasses tomorrow. That's essentially what you're saying. You're doing it in a particular time, but you know that meaning is implicit. It's not explicitly mentioned. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So the two examples we have for the place of action are the following. I sat in front of you and I ate next to Zaid. Okay, I sat in front of you. What's the action here that's being done?
I sat is the action.
Yes, I sat is the action. Where is the place of action?
In front.
In front, right? But in this case, in English, we do say in front, right? But in Arabic, you just say I sat front of you. You don't have to mention the in part. Okay. And again, amama is mansub. Amama is mansub. And the sign of nasb, because it is a singular noun, the sign of nasb is fatha. Or let me. I I ate. The second example is I ate under the ceiling. So here, I ate is the action. Tahta is the place of the action. Tahta is the place of the action. And meaning under the ceiling is a place of the action. Under the ceiling is the place of the action. And it is mansub because it is the time the place of action. It is mansub. Because it is the place of action, it is mansub. So these are the two examples for the place of action. Again, we went over the time of action and we went over the place of action. And we also gave some examples for both. And this was the third category of mansub nouns. We have a few more to go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 more types of mansub nouns, inshallah, which we will complete in the following weeks. Do you guys have any questions about anything that we discussed today? Yeah, so for next week, I would request that you guys go over these slides because we'll do a quick review. And if you go over these slides and prepare, it'll be easier for you to have questions, inshallah, and to follow along. But and also, I ask that you dedicate at least 1 hour during the week to go over this material, because if you don't, really, I mean, it's not gonna stick with you. You're gonna forget. Inshallah, let's finish the book strong. We're almost at the end. Let's make sure we do it in an impactful way. Meaning, once you're done, you feel like, hey, I've learned something. I can read the Quran. I can understand the Quran better. It's going to be a good feeling, inshallah. So, okay, so if no more questions, we can we can end the class and resume next week. Was everything clear today?
Yes, brother. Yeah.
Okay, so inshallah I will go ahead and try to come up with more accurate translations for some of those words. But other than that, I think that's all I wanted to share with you today. Inshallah, next week, as I said, we'll continue with the mansub nouns. جزاكم الله خيرا سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه أجمعين.